Donald Trump has promised to quickly wrap up the Republican Party nomination, and from the looks of things, he's doing just that. Rick Shenkman is the author of Political Animals: How Our Stone Age Brain Gets in the Way of Smart Politics, and he's joining us live from Seattle with some analysis. First of all, let me ask you about, you focus on the brain in your book. What is it that Donald Trump is doing to voters' brains that's helping him to connect with these voters?
He's appealing to their fear and to their anger, and when you do that as a politician, it is just like you are mainlining. You are going straight to their brains, and their brains can't think about anything else. Everything else that they think about politics gets swamped as they concentrate on fear and anger. And of course, that's what he's doing when he's talking about he's going to put up this wall and he's going to keep out the Mexican immigrants and he's going to make sure that no Muslims get into the United States. This is all about activating the fear module in our brain, and it's working beautifully for him.
And that's great for a domestic audience, but we've got a lot of international viewers who are watching this, I would imagine, with some alarm just for these foreign policy concerns. His latest comments hammering China. What about that? I mean, at some point, if he does become the president of the United States, he has to govern in a world, a global village, so to speak.
Well, that is the big question. That's why the GOP mainstream, I think, is just flabbergasted by his rise and appalled and frightened. They're frankly concerned that their party could go down the tubes with Donald Trump as their presidential nominee. Look, what are politicians always trying to do? They're always trying to give themselves a lot of wiggle room so that they can have the freedom of action when they have to make a tough call. What Donald Trump has proved is that he can just reinvent reality constantly. He says, you know, he'll make one statement one day and then he'll contradict himself the next day and he'll say, what contradiction? So I suspect that even though he's making all these statements now about China, he could get in to the White House and he could suddenly say, China, my best pal. Or he could say, a wall, he wants to build a wall. Who wants to build a wall? That costs too much money. What a dumb idea. So I don't think that we have to worry that Donald Trump is going to follow through on a lot of the things he's saying, but that makes him a scary unknown. There's a huge question mark about what he would actually do if he were elected president of the United States.
Rick, talk to me about how he's been able to define his opponents, though. He called Jeb Bush low on energy, and it stuck. I mean, that became an anchor on him. His latest target, Ted Cruz, we were just looking at images of him calling him a liar. He came in third in Nevada. It seems as though his campaign's struggling. It seems as though Trump has been able to do something the other candidates haven't been able to do. How has he done that?
Well, he's a terrific businessman, right? So what he's doing is he is not only branding himself, but he's branding these other candidates. The one thing I'd like to point out about Donald Trump is that he's been doing one thing better than all the other candidates, and that includes the Democrats, which is he is making the campaign about the voters, not about himself. This is an irony because, of course, we think of Donald Trump, he's a complete egotist. He puts his name up on buildings and golf courses and everything that he owns, including his helicopter and his airplane. But in fact, he's been a very smart politician because he has made the campaign about the voters, what they're feeling. So when they pull the lever for him, it's about their feelings. And what has he been doing? He's been validating how they feel about themselves and about the world. They've had these fears, but in the mainstream media, they couldn't be acknowledged. The mainstream media would say, oh no, we don't want to hear that racist nonsense coming out of your mouths. And Donald Trump is saying, let's hear it. In fact, I validate it. It's okay. Forget political correctness. You can be racist, you can be xenophobic, you can be anything you want to be. Just vote for me.
Rick,
that's been working.
We're out of time, but yes or no, can he be stopped on Super Tuesday? Can anybody stop him?
Well, at this point, it's extremely difficult. Cruz or Rubio would have to drop out of the campaign right now, along with Kasich, have it be a one-on-one contest, and then maybe the mainstream media, the mainstream of the GOP would rally around the opponent to Trump and
but doesn't look likely
take
to
him down. But it's very, very tough at this point to see how that could happen.
Rick, thanks so much for joining us from Seattle. Certainly appreciate it.